Well, it's a big game for all concerned. Obviously we get a chance to play one of the storied programs in the MAC, and they have a chance to move on to the conference championship game. So should be a great football game. Got a lot of respect for their program, what they've been all about. They got a very good football team. You don't see weak spots. They're very physical, very athletic. So it's a challenge for us.
Northern Illinois has been one of the historic programs in the conference, as you mentioned, for a long time now. What is it that's made that program so successful over such a long span of time?
Well, they've been able to obviously recruit very good football players. Probably a combination of things. I think they invest in football heavily. Um, they're located in a position where they can recruit a lot of the northern states, and obviously Chicago area very heavily. But they've gotten enough national attention. They can really go anywhere to get players. But if you look at their roster, there is a lot of Wisconsin players, Illinois players, and so they're positioned well, I think, to do a good job of recruiting, and they do that. And they've had good coaches. I think they've. If you look at the history of their coaches, they're excellent coaches, and they've been able to maintain that success within the program.
Developing continuity is something you've done here. Can you can you tell us how tough it would be to do over several coaching changes like they have, and not only just to keep winning, but to have the same identity, no matter which, whether this guy to that guy to that guy, they've been the same team DNA-wise.
Yeah, well, you look at the history of their hires. It's been where they've been able to keep that identity, and obviously, when you're having that kind of success, you're not into trying to do a lot of changing, and I don't think they have. They've been very successful for a number of years as to what they've been all about, and they've maintained that structure, and so when you got a winning formula, you usually stick to it, and those guys have done a good job of that.
They're a team that maybe doesn't wow you in any one aspect, but they're really good in about everything they do.
Yeah, they're good in everything they do. I mean, and then you couple that with the fact that they're a very physical football team. They are an attacking football team, whether you look at them offensively or defensively or special teams. They're coming after you, and they got an excellent running game. They involve their quarterback in the running game. A lot of fly sweep series, but they will, not try to be overly fancy. They'll try to make sure that they know you're in a physical football game, and they've done a good job of that. Certainly throughout the course of this season as well as many seasons, and that's on both sides of the ball. Defensively, they're the same way. They're a group of guys that come after you and hit you, and so you got that kind of talent, you got that kind of intensity in your players, then generally that shows.
Look at your club, Coach. Do you guys feel any better physically at this point? Injuries have been too much of a story the last month or so.
Yeah.
Having to assess it going in the last game, just in general.
Yeah, I think we're better. We've gotten some guys healed up. We're still playing with guys that are banged up. Been able to get Quentin back, even though he's still not. I don't believe playing at 100%. And hopefully, be close to it for this one. He's back on the field. He's playing for us, and so. We've been able to have at least one healthy quarterback, it seems like, as we go into each of these games, and that's a blessing. And so I think everybody, as you get in the middle of the season, end of the season, have their problems health-wise for the most part. We've had more in our fair share, but we've had more depth. We have more depth in our program than we've had, so I think that has counterbalanced that to some degree. But obviously, you like to play with all your guys.
You guys made a decision for quarterback next Tuesday?
No, we're not certain where Darius is yet, and so we'll make that decision as we get closer to the game.
Do you know they don't dance?
Yeah, he I think has maybe an outside shot of playing some, but we shall see. The injury is such that it can hamper his movement, and so that's a little bit of a question.
Are we going to see as much of AJ then? Daz can't go.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, with Quentin being able to keep himself on the field, we've working AJ more and more back at running back.
You ever play at the spoiler angle with your teams much? That doesn't seem to be something that you've done a whole lot, but you got to find opportunity here.
I don't get into that very heavily. There's all kind of incentives to win football games, and the spoiler part of it. I don't think you necessarily can hang your hat on that and have it be as effective as just truly preparing for a football game to get your squad to the point where they want to, every time they step on the football field, play up to their potential and win a football game, and so all the other gimmicks, I don't think truly get it done, but it can get you wound up for the kickoff.
If you're trying to get back up for the second quarter.
Yeah, I mean you gotta find a way to play 4 quarters of football, and usually using gimmicks doesn't normally get that accomplished.
A couple weeks ago, you said the bowl game. It was a long-term goal, but your immediate concern was playing better football. You've done that. Do you think about trying to end the year with 8 wins and the progress from the last 2 years? That would be your best record, I think, in 4 years if you got to 8. Does any of that creep in, or again, is that just all kind of secondary stuff? You're just trying to play a good game on?
I usually see that as taking care of itself whenever you step on the field and play really well and get things done in the manner that you'd like to get them done. But obviously those are all out there for you, for the football team, and we want to win as many games as possible every year, and so that's our next game. It would be great to get 8 wins. It'd be great to get a win against lately the best team in the MAC for really quite a few years now, and so all those things are there in front of us. You don't have to zero in on any single one of those. They all just are there. Players know it. Players want 8 wins when they got 7. They want a bowl game. They want to get whatever goals are left in front of them. They want to get them accomplished.
Northern's got a pretty good win streak in the month of November in terms of regular season games. In your experience, what helps a team perform best in the last month of the regular season? What types of factors go into that? Traits.
Yeah. Well, I think number one, you need to have a physical mentality to go through a season and play at a level that's going to allow you to play really well at the end. I think you've got to be somewhat of a healthy football team. I don't think you can find yourself tore apart by health problems and be able to get through November with any kind of consistency year after year, like they've done. You know, you just gotta have good athletes. You know, you need to have recruited well, and then there's certainly a belief there that they can get it done when it comes down to winning crucial games in the month of November to get yourself in the conference championship, to win the conference championship, to get the number of wins that they've been getting year in, year out, and they believe in their system, they believe in their program, and you know, they've done a great job.